Oh, hey now. Welcome to Gen Lab. I'm Darren,
That's great.
And I'm Jasmine.
and we're here to talk about the differences between generations. We're going to throw out topics, and we're going to see what a Gen Xer thinks about something, a couple of Gen Xers, and what a millennial thinks about different things. So we have Jasmine back today. She is a millennial, and I don't say that in a bad way. I know that's kind of a counter. I don't know what the word I'm trying to say there is, but I love my millennials. So,
I really
Jasmine,
think
go
we need
ahead
to
and
dive.
introduce yourself.
I would like to dive further into what you're about to say there. I am happy to be back. Thank you. Had a lot of fun last time, and I'm very excited about the topics of conversation today.
Well, you're ahead of me. I don't even know what we're talking about today because
That's
of my
'cause Greg
technical
is the-
issues.
Greg's clearly the only adult here.
That's fine with me. He can drive.
Greg is running the show for sure, driving the ship.
I definitely feel like the producer of this show on many occasions.
You have to keep us on track, and you're like, we were supposed to start at 3, so very serious. Yeah. It's good. It's good.
That's
we need
my
one
fault.
of those.
Yeah, it's all right to be, when you have a near-death experience, it's okay to be 22 minutes late.
Right. And
it's okay.
I would love to hear more about your near-death experience today. I have a feeling it was a little exaggerated, just having known you for a short time.
It was a bad deal. And it's very gross.
Uh-oh. Okay. Even better. Let's talk.
Was it the size of an oil can?
Other end. Jasmine doesn't know the oil can story. And that's not my story to tell. Thank you very much. And that one got erased anyway, that episode. But no, I had a late lunch with the kids at a barbecue joint in town. The barbecue joint you don't want to be caught in the company vehicle.
No.
Drinking a beer.
Right. Not even drinking a beer. Anyway.
With your son watching a baseball game.
And you know what? Continue. Maybe it was karma coming back at me because it was kind of the same situation, but Piper was there. And oh my gosh, it took forever. They had a bad day today. But I choked. I had something lodged in my throat and I couldn't do anything. And Aiden had to give me the Heimlich in front of the whole patio people. It was pretty rough, man. And the kids were scared. Piper was scared. There was like a big motorcycle guy sitting by us, and he kept telling her, "It's fine. He's fine. It's gonna be okay." God. So it was kind of a situation.
Okay, that's terrifying. Yeah.
So your son knows how to do the Heimlich?
They both do, actually. No, they both do. They took a class in high school. I think it was called First Responders. It was like an elective, and they had that class, so they learned a lot of things from that class.
Oh, that's great, man.
Wow. Okay, so you actually really did almost die. That's terrifying. Also, I would say stop going to that place because it's never good. It never turns out well for you. And also,
it used to be good.
You said that you were like not super happy with your weight, but if somebody can still give you the Heimlich, I think you're doing okay.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah. They just had a really off day, and then I had a really off
What were you
moment.
Were you
I don't
laughing
know, man.
and eating, or what were you eating?
No, it was.
I'm interested to hear what he was
eating.
It
was like potato salad. It was like
potato salad.
It was like loaded baked potato salad.
Huh.
And it was
a
like
crumble of bacon.
No, I'll be honest with you. I have in my life several times taken too big a bite, and I can feel it kind of stuck, and I kind of sit there quietly and work it down, and usually I can. So that sensation was happening.
Avoiding an embarrassing moment.
Right.
I've been there.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. So
okay, Greg, I'm curious about your choking habits because I feel like that's a personality type. I'm so the same way. I've choked, especially as a kid. I used to choke all the time.
So I do have. So I think that's a common bond between us. It's probably why we all like each other. Because
who said we liked each other?
Oh, damn. So
okay,
harsh.
Fair. That's a fair point.
I kid.
It's a fair point. I'm a little bit tough to like, but you guys are cool. So as a kid, and even now, they call it pulling a Greg. I choke every meal
No.
on my drink.
Oh.
Just about every meal.
You can't really choke on a drink, though. I mean,
No,
like,
Piper
Yeah.
has that same problem. Piper
Really?
Yeah.
chokes on water almost every meal. And in
Yeah,
our
every
family,
meal.
it's pulling a Piper. It's a thing.
What?
Piper has the same problem.
Is it like you're breathing as you drink?
Yeah. Yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And for some reason, after I'm a Gen X, so I'm fairly old, and
Always meals every time.
I can't figure it out.
So
That's
many meals.
Something's so many meals.
I mean, you figured out enough not to die, which is great. But
Yeah.
More than I've been.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that's terrifying.
Potato salad, though, I'm surprised you could.
Yeah.
Like potato salad would come out.
Well, it did, and it was
Was it
very
like a
gross.
movie where it like
It was
that's
awful. It was rough, and it scared the kids.
That's a great story.
Yeah,
That's one you can tell that you live. The fact that you live, now you can tell that story with a lot of
because if you
fun.
didn't, you wouldn't be able to tell it.
If you didn't, we could talk about the mushroom soup with John. We'll talk about that in a future episode.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Okay,
so you can listen to the future episode and you'll find out.
So
yeah, that's a tease.
near death experiences. I feel like you've had a few, Darren. You've had a few, like
I
kind of-
have, and honestly, Greg was at one of mine. Greg saved my life one time. Do you remember that?
Did it have something to do with smoking weed at a MTV concert?
No, how dare
No.
you?
How dare
Okay.
you?
It had to do with
Bring that up.
snorkeling in
An
Mexico.
MTV concert? Oh my gosh. Snorkeling in Mexico. Do you remember, Greg? How many times have you saved somebody snorkeling in Mexico?
A number of times. I don't know about some snorkeling in Mexico. I've been to Mexico a number of times.
You don't remember
But
this?
I do not.
Really?
I do not.
Are you sure
No.
it was Greg?
I'm pretty sure I was staying with Greg. I think. It was
Okay,
Greg.
so what happened?
Wait a second. I lived in Jamaica. Was it Jamaica or Mexico? Mexico.
Oh, I'm exaggerating. It's when you worked for Jack Tar, and we were at
Oh yeah, we were at a Jack Tar in
Cancun?
Mexico, Cancun. Yeah, we were in Cancun. Yeah,
and we had gone to Tulum for the day,
Uh-huh.
and that's back
Yeah.
when you could actually crawl all over the Aztec ruins.
There was no gates, there was no fence, there was no nothing. It was
Oh,
just
yeah.
open to the
Free
And I have
world.
reign.
pictures
And-
of that somewhere.
Yeah, that's amazing because you go back now and it's all
Oh, I'm
It's
sure,
different.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
well, it's real.
so,
So anyway,
you have
there's
to pay
this,
to get
there-
in.
on the way back. So Tulum was a couple hours, I think, maybe 4. I don't remember. From where we were staying, and on
Yeah.
the way back, there was this little village, which is now
Xcaret.
and now it's like a city of 1 million people, but it was like a little
Mhm.
village at the time. And we went snorkeling there. It's actually where they filmed the Blue Lagoon, if I remember correctly. And it's the first time I ever snorkeled. And I remember the guy. The only thing that was there were like some grass huts and
Jose
like
Irizarry.
and there was some
You remember
old
it
timey
exactly?
30s type of resort, and that was all that was there. So we rented snorkel gear from the old timey resort, and the guy was saying something about be sure not to touch the coral. The coral is like this best coral in the world. Be sure not to touch it. Blah blah blah. So I had that in my head and went snorkeling, and I sucked salt water down into my lungs.
Oh my
And
gosh.
baby, it'll close you up more than potato salad at Sassy's. Then I'm telling you, it does a job. So I
Crazy.
probably could have stood up, but there was coral all underneath me. I don't know. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Oh.
And so I didn't want to touch that. And baby, I was going down, and Greg came out of nowhere and scooped me up. I can't believe you don't remember that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I'm glad that I
You
saved
couldn't
you
touch the
because
coral. Okay, wait. I might have missed. Why couldn't you touch the coral? It's like poisonous, or it's like endangered, or
I don't know. I just remember the guy saying that.
yeah.
And so
So-
I didn't want to touch it. I don't remember if I would get hurt or
He
I
would
would
have
hurt
rather
it.
died than touch that.
I was
coral.
dying.
Like, and he was just like, it was just like
I
an
guess I'm
offhand.
an environmentalist. I don't know.
I guess
I
so.
gave
You're
myself
like,
for the
can't touch the
planet.
coral. That's so good.
I can't believe
That's a
Greg doesn't
fantastic
remember
story.
that, dude.
I don't remember.
Well,
I've kind of
it
probably
meant
blocked
more
it
to
out.
me than it did you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I saved your life
Yeah,
because
I
we've
mean,
had a lot of good
thank you
times
for that.
since.
I've had some other ones. Greg, have you ever died?
No, I don't think I've had any
No.
near-death experiences. No.
I had another one. I stepped in front of a speeding van, and my brother pulled me out of the way. I'm telling you, I've had several, and we're not even talking about COVID. I did die with COVID.
Darren, you told me about a time where you jumped out of a moving fire truck on a highway. So, I mean,
it was
and
an on-ramp.
That didn't make your top 3.
No, I didn't die that day.
Yeah.
I got some road rash that day.
That's rough. You've had a life.
I take that back. I did have something that was super painful, and I guess it could have killed me. One day I was running for they would give you a snow cones if you retrieved the foul balls at the high school baseball game, and I was fast, and so I was going to get
all the snow cones.
I mean, I was out front. I was going to get the snow cone for sure for this foul ball.
How old are you at this point in time?
I was 9.
Okay. I'm picturing teenager.
You said high school.
I was like,
no, it was high school baseball game, but I was 8 or 9.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I was running along, and it was at night, and I was running along in the tennis courts because the tennis courts were right next to the baseball field, and there were no nets on the courts. There was just a wire hanging. And so I was running along, and all of a sudden that wire clotheslined me and cut a hole in my neck.
Oh my God.
That's pretty rough.
So I didn't get the baseball or the snow cone. I had to go to the hospital.
They didn't give you a snow cone for that?
No, I was at the hospital for 4 days though. It's the only time I've ever been in the hospital.
You almost like decapitated yourself for a fucking snow cone. For a lapping snow cone.
Yeah.
So what caught you though? Was it
the cable that goes? There was no nets up, but the cables were up.
Well, you know what? I believe that you're fast because if I hit one of those, it would do nothing. It would but like you going full speed into that. Yeah, exactly. You
one of the
shook your whole head off. Like, yeah, you're probably fast.
One of the future topics is Uncle Rico type things. Do you know who Uncle Rico is?
Are you talking about Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes, Napoleon Dynamite.
Of course, I do know. Yes.
Okay, so Uncle Rico moment. So those people who talk about things they did 30, 40 years ago or in high school, and they're still talking about it.
Yes.
Well, yeah. So I went for a future episode. You can come back and listen to my Uncle Rico moments. But I did go to the state meet in track.
I have a story about Greg and track. So Greg won the lottery in high school, and he had a chance to pick $100,000, a set of new track shoes, or a set of encyclopedias. Like he could get the track shoes and the encyclopedias, or the $100,000.
I thought one of the options was a good-looking girl.
No, there's no girls.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
What scenario? This is like a game you played, or this is like a real thing that happened?
Greg, do you remember that at all? Or
yes, I told my kids that yesterday.
I'm confused. Okay,
I told my kids that yesterday. Yeah.
I'm kidding. It's a joke we used to play on him.
So that I would always choose. I always chose the track shoes or the encyclopedias. I never chose the girl or the money or the whatever because I was always doing those things.
Maybe a red Corvette or something. I can't remember. It was all this great stuff, or track shoes, or encyclopedias, or maybe extra study time. That might have been one of them.
Yeah,
study time.
Yeah.
Okay, so but like
it goes
high IQ. You're not sitting there going, I could buy a whole set of encyclopedias and a lot of track shoes with $100,000. That wasn't enough.
You're not allowed. You weren't allowed to do that. That was
this was their. They were just making fun of me. They were just making fun of me.
You get to determine how he spends his $100,000. I see.
Yeah,
I think Gary Harris may have come up with it. I don't know.
I don't like strings attached, so I would probably pick.
Oh boy, that's interesting. Let's delve into that.
Yeah, started when I was a child. No, but okay, so
but we're back to introducing yourself to keep us on.
Why? I've already done this.
Did you introduce yourself? I don't know that you introduced yourself.
I mean, what do you want to know?
That was another episode.
How do you not know her?
Tell us just a bit about yourself, and then people can go back and listen to the other one.
Okay, I don't know how specific I want to get. I mean, I don't know if I want everybody to know. All the people
What's
listening.
Your elevator speech?
The million people listening to this at any given time.
What about your elevator speech for Jasmine?
For herself?
Princess Jasmine.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess I'm right now unemployed, unless you count
Fantastic.
hanging out with y'all. Not getting paid.
We can pay you something.
I'm a yeah, no, you're paying me with your presence, which I just really appreciate. So thanks for inviting me to do this. But I am a marketer. I've been kind of delving into photography, and I'm a very creative person. And me and Darren work together, and that's how we know each other. He was the absolute best hire, and Ashley, that I've ever had. And we really had a rough year at a company that was just crazy. And I think it really bonded us. It was like trauma bonding for life, something like that. So, I mean, pretty much just me.
Yeah, like if you were hostage, like the
Mm-hmm.
Iran hostages, that's kind
Yeah.
of like what it was like.
Yeah, and it's like they appointed me to be like the head hostage. And I
Yeah,
was like the one
exactly.
that like took care of the other hostages. But then I just like at the end, I just said, like, shoot us all. Just kill us. Like,
I
So
have I have an idea on payment. I have a little bit of extra potato salad I could send your way.
on your shirt.
I could not tell you how little I would enjoy potato salad in general, but especially after that story you told, I will never look at it the same way.
Oh my gosh.
Slightly used potato salad.
I'm
Slightly
so glad
loved.
that you that I mean that much.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that introduction.
Oh, and I am a millennial, I guess, which is,
And you're
I
millennial.
will say that I'm a mid to young millennial. I'm not, I mean, 91, so I think 96 is like the cutoff. Y'all are kind of on the other side of Gen X, right? You're a little bit more like the beginning of the generation,
I don't know.
which I do think makes a difference.
I think
Oh,
it does make a
100%.
difference.
It does make a difference, but I don't really know. I don't really know
I think
where it starts and stops.
65 is where, okay, I'm not 100%. I probably shouldn't say that, but
Yeah,
65,
you're right.
I believe, is where Gen X starts, and y'all are like 69 and 70. Is that what you said last time?
69 and 69.
Oh, both 69. Okay.
The
So
best year.
like a little bit more towards the beginning of it, and then I think millennial started like 84, 88. I don't remember exactly, but so I'm a little bit more mid pack. That's probably why I know all the cool slang still.
You know, my
Yeah,
wife.
you were 5 for 5 last time on the.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
she killed it.
Unbeaten. I have
She wins all the potato salad from
oh
that
my
win.
gosh.
We need a gold
Potato salad
gold
trophy.
potato salad.
you like at the MTV Awards. It's a gold thing of popcorn.
Do
Or
they
MTV.
still have those?
Well, they used to. So we need
Yeah.
a tray of gold potato salad to hand out. Kind of like at the office, we had like a little cheerleader thing that was handed out.
A marching band. It was like most extra.
Most extra. Yeah. We need that.
Yeah.
I was going to say some. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So back to the year you were born and all. So my wife is technically a millennial. No, wrong. My wife is technically a Gen Xer.
65.
She was 66.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. She has a disco era. In my world, a Gen Xer does not have a disco era.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't work for me. I'm so 80s. I'm so hairband 80s guy. The disco was way before me. In my mind.
Though.
It's
Barely.
very ABBA. Like,
yes.
No, but I think you're right. I think because if you think about it, like 69, you're born 70. So like you were probably kind of like coming of age in the 80s, right? So that's like your time.
Yes.
Because you're like 11 to whatever, 19,
yes.
or however, whatever it is. And that's kind of like I view the early 2000s, which unfortunate because the 90s are great. 2010s, it starts to get kind of cool too. But like 2000 to 2009, that's a rough, like fashion sucked. Movies were terrible. It's not a good time for music. Like there's nothing good about early 2000s.
I wouldn't know. I don't know what really came out then, really.
Yeah, because you were like having your kids and stuff. You're not really like doing all of that. And that's kind of how I feel about the 2010s. Is like that's when I started having kids, and it was, so yeah, you kind of get lost in that stuff.
Interesting. There's a band that's really good, but I think they're 90s. There's no way
What's
they're
what's that? Who's
2000s.
that?
Um, I went
There's
through a
one.
trauma
There's
earlier.
one good '90s band. He's
I'm
like,
trying to
there's
think.
one
I
band.
actually got to
If
see
you say
them.
Nickelback, I will kill you.
No.
I will
I
kill
agree with you on
for
the
real this
Nickelback
time.
thing.
I
my
know a
God.
guy. Okay, I know a guy who says that Nickelback is the greatest band of all time, but he hates the Beatles. What the freaking hell? Like how?
Do I know this person?
No.
We need him on this show.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to.
What
I think
what
his
gen
IQ
is
is
he?
probably 4. What?
What
I think he's a millennial. He's a little younger than me.
can you
but
invite him next time?
I don't really want to.
I
It'd
want
be
to talk about.
interesting.
I think we should. Nickelback would be a good topic.
I
There's a
I
lot of
don't
bands like
I don't really want to
Nickelback,
spend
though.
any time with people who say things that audacious. But
So Nickelback has backlash. Creed, who
Creed,
is
oh my god, I
back
just sat
together
here
Oh,
and they're
Creed, yeah.
touring, they
Which
had
Alter
backlash.
they
Bridge
do.
and all
They
that.
do. But Creed took the Rangers to the World Series and won it.
Yep, 100%. I know
Wait,
that's
why?
crazy. I don't know, but it's a
I
thing.
don't know. They got onto this Creed kick, and they were.
They
I
did.
don't know.
The
Everybody
Rangers
was
are the
singing
ones that
Creed.
brought them back together.
And
Oh
they
my
did, and
gosh.
yeah,
It's
it's a
random.
weird phenomenon.
A band that I actually saw up close and personal once, Winger. Winger was a cool band.
Information Society.
Hold on. Winger
Sorry.
was this band, and then Beavis and Butthead came out, and the
Beavis
nerdy
and
guy on Beavis and Butthead had a Winger shirt on. So everybody started hating Winger because of that. So all these weird, it's very interesting. That's a true story.
Yes, how pop culture kind of just like influences other. Yeah.
I used to go to
Beavis and
Darren's house,
Butthead,
and he would watch
wonderful.
Beavis and Butthead while I was over there, and I hated that show.
It's
And
so stupid. It's
I
just
hated
like,
that
oh
show.
my gosh, it's so
Beavis
ridiculous.
and Butthead was Michael Patrick and Darren Neely in junior high, 100%. It was totally Michael Patrick and Darren Neely. End of story. It's like they recorded us and they came up with the idea.
I believe it.
Back to the band.
Which one were you?
The band.
Yeah, or were you Butthead or Beavis?
No, I was Butthead.
Okay.
Beavis is so Michael Patrick. The band I was talking about was the Toadies, but I think the Toadies
no, tell me
are
about them.
90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know who that
no, I
is.
don't know anything about them. I have no idea.
Either.
So,
I don't know
Oh,
who
they're
that
the
is.
greatest band of
but that's like,
all
like all
time.
the so the music from the early 2000s is like, oh my god, like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 90s. Like I grew up listening to Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and Spice Girls.
Now I like
So-
Spice Girls.
Hey, did Beckham marry
Yeah,
a Spice Girl?
Yes, he
Yes.
sure did.
Porsche.
I thought they did. Which one?
And they look the same.
Porsche. Sorry.
Posh.
Oh my god, an education on the Spice Girls. I could give you a lesson, but
I like Spice
we'll
Girls.
save that for another.
I like the
for another
redhead and I like Scary Spice.
Ginger. Yep, Scary Spice. Okay, yep.
And who was the
I don't know
workout
them.
one?
That was mine. I was Sporty Spice.
Sporty Spice.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I like Spice Girls. I'd have gone to see them if they
How could you
were-
not like the Spice Girls? But I just mean,
What's a good
like,
song they
the
had? Can you sing a
quality of
song for us?
music.
You know who else I like was
Wannabe?
Bananarama.
Wannabe? Can you sing it a little bit? Sing a chord?
No, I'm not gonna sing it. I don't know any of the words. If you wanna be mine.
Oh
Yeah,
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 I-
that's
I-
like that
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Okay, yeah, I know it.
Maybe
Um,
that's maybe that ought to be our startup song.
Oh yeah, just me singing the Spice Girls. Totally.
I'll do a bass line in the background. Matt could put something together too.
Good, yeah, you know what? I'll get him working on that today.
He'll get right on that.
Yeah, I'll get right. He'll do great. Yeah. So Spice Girls, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears. My first. Okay, this will resonate a little bit. My very first like music purchase was a tape of Now That's What I Call Music Volume 1. So it was a
Mhm.
cassette and a Britney Spears CD, and I got them at the same time, but I could only afford one cassette and one disc CD, and I would play those all the time. I was so obsessed.
What was on the K-Tel version thing
Oh
that you
my
were talking
gosh.
about?
Okay,
Oh,
so you know
those are great. The Nows, those
they
series
they're
are great.
basically like the top hits from the year or whatever. I feel
Whatever
like
year
there
it
was like
is or whatever genre.
I'm pretty sure Mambo Number 5 is on there. You know,
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
it's on-
little
it's on
bit
at
of
least one of
Monica
them,
in
yeah,
my life. Yeah, I think that's on there. I want to say Zoot Suit Riot, which like I don't even know why
That's
I know
killer.
that.
That's good.
There was a bunch of stuff. Man, now I want to look it up. It was a great. It was a great compilation, and now they're on Now That's What I Call Music, volume like 872. So that's
Yeah.
So
really
okay,
cool for
this is
me.
the era from 2000 to 2010. Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know at that point. I probably was like 8 or 9 when I first got that, but so that was kind of like probably like right before the 2000s hit. But yeah,
Because there
I'm just
wasn't
saying.
there was a deal where all these swing dance
Yeah,
bands came out. They were very, very popular.
yeah.
But I almost think that was like early 90s. When did
Let
the
me make
movie
sure
Swingers
that
come out with
I don't know. I have no idea.
oh,
I've never seen
Jasmine.
that.
It's the
No,
dance. It's the dance movie
no.
with Vince Vaughn. It's Vince Vaughn's very first movie. And it's got his buddy
Matt.
uh
Matt.
it doesn't matter.
Damon. Matt Damon.
No,
Oh, Matt
what are
Damon,
you
yeah.
talking about, Matt Damon? No, talk about Vince Vaughn and
Oh, Vince Vaughn. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the other guy.
yeah, I don't like.
It came out in 1996. Swingers.
Okay, Swingers is about the swinging time of as far as music and dancing goes. Yes, I know you millennial types get that confused with the lifestyle that some people
That's
have.
not what I didn't.
Ron
That's not
Livingston.
what went through my mind. No, not at all. I just didn't know. I'd never seen it. But
It's good.
okay,
You
so like,
like it.
so the first song was Janet Jackson's "Together Again," and then it goes kind of down to Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls on there. All My Life is on there from Casey and JoJo, which I feel like you've told. No, I feel like that's your thing. And then there was Mbop with Hanson. So that's kind of like the
Oh,
vibe of that.
That
was
song's on my playlist.
just like totally chaotic.
What I don't know the one
Really?
you're talking about. Kaylee and
Mbop?
Jansen. No, the one before
Casey and
that.
JoJo,
I don't know
All
that.
My Life. Yeah, you've heard it.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna
Sing
sing
it.
it. No, I don't know I don't know the lyrics at all. I know All
So
My Life. That's it.
I don't want to take away from this wonderful topic, but so we did talk about saying what music are you into now, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
I do want to maybe jump into that real quick. So I have this old car that I drive, and the best thing that works on it is the cassette deck in the car. It's an
Has
03.
a cassette deck?
It has a cassette deck, and it's the best thing about the car. Okay.
Yeah.
So I dug out my old original tapes, right?
Mhm.
That's what I listened to. And I listened to Jody Watley today. Man, I forgot how much I love Jody Watley. Jody Watley was the bomb back in the day. You
I
guys
don't
know
know.
her?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh, okay.
What's the song?
I don't know. 'Cause
Sing
the
it.
whole tape's good.
The whole thing.
Yeah, sing it.
But that is a difference, right? Like, so that is something that I have noticed is that I have like no attention span anymore. I used to listen to whole CDs all the way through. You would listen to every song. You would know all the like really, when an artist release an album now, you don't listen to that whole thing unless you're like a Swiftie, I guess. But
No,
pretty
you're
much
right.
I just listen to whatever,
You're right.
is like a single that I've heard of or like or what goes on the radio or whatever.
Well, that's
we don't-
because everybody has short attention spans because of like TikTok.
But also just Spotify makes it too easy. They have like you can
Yeah.
just pick a song, get a playlist, and listen
Done.
to all your favorites.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of discovery, I don't think, that is happening there anymore. But I mean, music was a really big part of my life growing up. I think every teenager goes through that time, and now I don't know if kids are still all that, I don't know if they do that.
There's people I know that don't know any music whatsoever.
yeah,
Like zero knowledge of music.
your age or
A little older than me. So
Okay.
there's a gal that she was on vacation with these people, and she was like in Cozumel, and Tom Petty died. And Tom
she didn't know
Petty's
Tom Petty. There's no fucking way.
hold
Sorry,
on.
Greg. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bleep it.
So we have the ability to bleep you. So that's like one of Amy's favorites. So
I would never
you would never what?
Bleep me.
bleep you.
So
You're
anyway,
gonna have to. I have a
Tom
potty
Petty
mouth.
dies, and visibly upsets Amy. And so this gal comes up to her and she's like, "Are you okay? Something going on?" "Yeah, Tom Petty died." And she's like, "Oh, is that a relative?" She's like,
Oh my
"No,
gosh.
Tom Petty, Tom Petty."
Yeah.
This woman had no music knowledge whatsoever.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's crazy. So I do have a question. I'm not one of those people that, like, when a celebrity dies, I'm gonna post and be like, "Oh, my favorite celebrity," or anything like that, or, "Oh, this hurts so bad." Like, Robin Williams, growing up, I liked him and stuff, but I wasn't like, "Oh my gosh," like, literally dagger to my heart. It was sad. But there is one celebrity that when he dies, I will be very, very, very sad, and it's gotta be soon because he's old.
Winnie the
Ric
Pooh.
Flair.
No, Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
So what show did you watch of his?
No, just Mary Poppins,
Mary
and
Poppins.
just
Okay.
like watching him like all his time, and I don't know. I just for some reason he's real near and dear to me, and I keep saying I'm like, oh my gosh, if he dies, I'm gonna be so sad. So I'm curious, who is it for y'all? Because or like who was it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you have one? Or are you not like that? You don't care? Because I've never had like a crying reaction. So I remember the day that Michael Jackson died. It was the day I was sworn into the military.
Really?
Yeah. I remember going to MEPS and singing on the screen. It was like August of 2009 or something like that. But
What branch were you in?
the Army.
And what was your job?
I was a medic.
Medic.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
She's an
I'm a
excellent medic. She saved my life several times while we worked together.
It's a common theme with Darren.
Yeah,
Right.
everyone's
One of these days.
you are really surviving by the skin of your teeth. But no, I was a sad excuse for a military person, but my husband was a great soldier. So
I'll have to think about someone that's important to me that I don't know personally.
yeah,
I
but
don't
you see
know.
it all. These people are like, oh my gosh.
I'm not saying
It's
that
not
I
believable.
cry necessarily, but
That
when
was just
Robert
impactful.
when Robert Earl Keen started having health issues and said he's going to go on one last tour, which I know they all do that and they keep going, but no, when I saw him on the last tour, he was sitting down, like he's obviously got something wrong with him. That bothered me. I mean, he didn't die or anything, but
Yeah.
he's he's getting older, whatever. Honestly, Ozzy's probably my favorite guy. He's
Oh, yeah.
never gonna die. He just keeps
No.
going. I don't want him to die,
Yeah.
but
They were like
these
preserving
guys
him.
keep going.
Yeah, it's amazing. And his whole family, like they look better than they did. Do you remember that show
Yeah,
that
of
they
course
had?
I do. That's
Where
when he
was it
jumped.
on VH1 or MTV? What was it on?
Yeah. It might have been VH1. Yeah, the Osbournes. That's
Yeah.
when I sort of had to leave the Ozzy camp because it was.
Oh, because it was too like reality television.
Yeah, I
for you.
mean,
So you're not a reality TV
no,
guy.
I love reality TV.
Oh, what
It's
do you
just
love?
Ozzy
What
was
shows
my
are we talking
guy.
here?
You know what my favorite reality show of all time is? It had one season. It was called My Big Obnoxious Fiance. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like a good one.
there was this beautiful girl and they duped her. So she thought, I can't remember, this is 20 years ago or more. Okay.
When it was first starting out.
And so they hired this actor to act like an ass in front of her family and stuff. And if she were to get engaged with him, she win money. I can't remember exactly, but oh my God, that was so good. And of course, it's no good. It didn't make it.
Yeah.
Most shows I like don't make it.
I mean, so many of the premises are trash, but there's this one that I got into recently, and it's super popular. It's called Love is Blind on Netflix. It is the trashiest show of all time, and I love it. I'm there. I'm so in on it. Like, they basically date through, like, a wall. Like, they have to go in these pods. And they can, like, play games. They, like, are sitting on a couch. They're super comfortable. But it's, like, 14 girls and 14 guys are dating everyone. And they're just like, okay, if you want to see this person again, let us know. And then they get together. And so for 10 days, they don't get to see each other. They have no idea doing it. And inevitably they fall in love. A couple of them get engaged, and then they get to do a reveal. And the awkward reveal of like somebody seeing someone that they are clearly not attracted to, like the body language is so awkward and off, and they're like, oh hi, like don't touch me, and oh no, we're not gonna kiss right now, we'll kiss later. And they're like getting engaged, and then they like put them all together. Oh, it's so ugly, but it's hilarious.
It's like a modern day version of the dating game. The dating game used to be, there was a wall and there were 3 bachelors, and this girl had to ask questions.
No, I've seen, and they ask the questions, and it's like bachelor number 1 or whatever. But the best part about it is they don't, inevitably at the end, love is not blind. It never is. And they're always like hooking up with the other one that's like really way more attractive or whatever. And
but they're getting along really, really well. They pick that person, and then they see him.
They're like, I am so in love. I do not care. He could come out with an eye patch on and like 1 tooth, and I would still love him. And then they see him, and they're like, I don't know, the spark's just not there. And it's like, because he's ugly, and you are a shallow person.
Yes,
it's the best. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's what happened to Amy. They pulled the curtain back, and
speaking of which, did you listen to that song? I'm gonna say no.
I'm sorry. I've been choking. I've been so busy.
Yeah. Oh, I almost died.
It's 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm going through something.
What song is this?
The Red Clay something. Hang on a second. Wondering why?
Is there any way?
No. Why are you making him listen to it?
Because it's his story.
Oh, okay.
Wondering Why by the Red Clay Strays.
I promise I will. I don't know what's wrong with me. Is there any way we could hit pause and then re-up? Hey, we're back. Thank you for the break. And how's everybody out there doing? And we're listening to smooth sounds of the 80s and that.
And the question was, did you wash your hands? And
Darren says,
everybody washes their hands. That is not true. Not everybody does that.
I don't see up here.
Oh man, I see them all the time. In the airport, I see people in the airport. I see people, just leaving the bathroom, just not washing their hands. And they say they don't touch anything.
No excuse.
They say they don't touch anything. They just unzip their pants and say they don't touch anything.
It does not. Really? What do you do? How do you not touch something?
Well, there is a little something to that. I mean, but
I don't know, but it's not me.
I'm not going to get technical because...
You can not touch things.
I don't think so.
No, you can.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it does. Well, for you, maybe, but for others.
Okay. I mean, that to me just doesn't make any sense. But
it
even
makes all
still,
the sense in the world.
Just walking into the bathroom, you are trusting that everybody else in that place didn't touch what you touched. So even if you just touched the door handle, what the hell were those people touching before
Okay, but there's bathrooms that's just like a maze that you walk through, so you're not touching a door.
So you're telling me that if it's like maze format and you don't happen to touch anything, then it's A-okay.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you cannot touch something. So you do that, then you go up to a urinal that flushes itself, and you use your garments to aim, and then you pop everything back in and walk back out. I mean,
how do you pop it back in? How do you pop it back in?
Yeah, I feel like that's more work.
I'm not talking about
I think that's more work than just washing your hands really quick. Like,
I think so too.
I just feel like
I think they touch stuff and they just say they don't.
Are you walking in like this and like walking out like sterile? Like, I don't know.
I'm just saying it's possible not to touch stuff.
I disagree, but okay.
I just don't understand why washing the hands is such like a hard. Like what? Why? It's so quick. It's so.
Well, I wash my hands.
I love
everyone I've ever seen in the bathroom wash it. I don't think I've ever seen. Maybe.
I just don't think you've been
out of a million I've seen.
Yeah, you just don't pay attention. You're the center of your world. So
you're the most important person in the world. That's it.
And I know I talk too much on this, so it's Greg's time to talk.
Oh yeah,
because he's been so quiet. What's the next issue, or whatever we
Mm.
call it.
Yeah, what are we talking
Issue.
about?
That's probably perfect issue, especially with this group.
Let's talk
I
about
just
our
realized
issues.
I'm drinking a cup with my phone number and my name on it.
Yeah, and you showed it. Did everyone see my cup? And you have glasses and a hat. Like, I don't even want to know. That is too good.
I'm an idiot. They didn't put
So
one
what?
of those blackout things.
So what do you guys think about plastic surgery?
This is a good one. Okay. So I am curious. I feel like men don't understand. I feel like everybody's got a different view on what is plastic surgery. So can you clarify for me? When you say plastic surgery, what is that?
I don't think Botox is,
Okay,
if
so
that's what you're getting at.
Sure. I mean, no, but there are like a lot of different things that you could do, like plastic surgery, like
Breast
I don't know. I want to
augmentation
hear.
is
I
a
want to hear. Does
plastic
that mean like
surgery.
you have to go under a knife, basically? Is what you're saying?
I think breast augmentations are plastic surgeries.
Sure.
Booty lifts,
Sure.
hair plugs,
Okay, like a rhinoplasty or a
Facelifts.
sure. Yeah.
facelifts. That's dangerous territory there, man. They don't have that dialed in very good, I don't think.
Right. No. Well, I mean, and yeah, all these people die like from these BBLs you were talking about.
What?
The BBL
Yeah,
is like where they
Brazilian
put, like,
butt
I
lift.
think pretty sure I do not know.
What
I've
is
literally
those?
never wanted this in my life, but like not to say it doesn't look great on other women, but that is just not something. But they
I
like
don't know
take
if I've ever seen
fat
one.
out of somewhere
No, you've
else,
seen it.
maybe, or like it always looks ridiculous.
It's terrible.
Like they do too much, but they like take
People like it.
fat. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're an ass man, right? But like they take fat out of somewhere else in your body and they like place it strategically, I'm pretty sure, on your butt. But generally I think people just overdo it. So the ones I've seen have been really terrifying.
Well,
But
our
I guess
coworker has a friend that had it, and it fell, and it
yeah.
looks like she has a dirty diaper on or something.
Right.
I can't picture it. I've just heard.
Yeah. No, you're right. And she
I'll
did
send
tell
you a
us.
picture.
Yeah, upload a picture, do like the whole thing. But I
Mad
think that
graphics.
like if you don't consider like Botox or like some people get lip filler, I clearly do not. New lips, but they get lip filler and they get them all, ducky and puffy and some
Saw that
things
at the
go
track meet on Tuesday.
Does
yeah.
that last though, or is that something that fades away like Botox?
No, so I know that like Botox basically I just do very light because I'm not really too worried about it right now, but I do get a little bit and it kind of just helps to like fill in and freeze, but it doesn't actually like inject any like filler into your face. You know when you see women that have like really big cheeks and like really big lips and sometimes they I don't know. Anyway,
Does it stay
that's
though?
I don't think so. I think it's something that you have to like continually do.
Okay.
But I know
So-
that women have to like get it dissolved. I'm not super well versed in it. But my whole thing with plastic surgery, and this is what I was going to tell you about, and you're like, don't talk to me. But but I think that men don't always know what it looks like, and so they'll be like, ew, plastic surgery is so gross. But then they see a woman that has like fake lips, fake eyelashes, fake eyebrows, Botox, lip filler, butt lift,
Boobs.
tummy tuck, big boobs, and they're like, wow, she looks so good. And it's like, okay, what the fuck? How is anybody else supposed to keep track of that? Like, you know what I mean? Or like compete with that. Like, it's not real. Do you feel like you're good at seeing it?
Yes.
We should have done a test where I'm like, plastic surgery or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been a good.
So, it's interesting. We could talk about embarrassing moments the next time you're on. Most embarrassing moments. That can be a topic.
I do have a few.
One of my most embarrassing moments was I was sitting at a dinner. I used to go out dancing with these girls when I was single. And there was 5 or 6 of them. We were all friends. I didn't date them, but they were good dancers. No. But we were all at dinner. And I said something about the cocaine and boob job crowd in Plano. And all 3 of them had boob jobs.
Oh shit.
and
they
they
got pissed
gave
off.
me, yeah, they kind of gave me the run on that. But yeah,
That's Dallas,
hey,
though. That was Dallas in the 90s.
That is. So you clearly didn't know that they had that.
I think I should have known because I knew them before and after.
Okay.
But you
But
don't think about it because it's not like
Did
they're
you just
not
think they
yours.
grew? Like,
I don't think so. That's not the stuff that's important to me.
okay.
So that's why I
see.
think I know, right? So
Right.
yeah,
Me
yeah.
either
Right.
means nothing.
Yeah, no, but okay, so my husband and I had
Like
this
some guys will
conversation.
say, a guy said the other day at lunch, he said, "Oh man, that waitress kept bending over, and I felt bad because her boobs are right there in front of me." He said, I just we need to sit somewhere else next time. And I said, I didn't even notice.
Really?
It's just I
That
didn't. I mean,
surprises me. That's surprising because I
Was
feel like men are
she
generally what?
was she unattractive?
I don't remember. There's a waitress at Boomer Jack's. You could go by and check her out, I guess. I'll
That's
send you a
kinda
picture
far.
next time I'm there.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
take a
I don't know
picture of
why
her.
you
That's
wouldn't
totally cool.
enjoy
But
that if you I don't I mean, who are you having lunch with? Was he goes the other way or something? I mean,
No,
I don't
he's
understand the
a
problem.
good Christian dude, married 30
Oh,
years.
so am I. But I like women.
so it's like that Christian guilt. I get that.
Yeah.
But I will say that like I just feel like men don't really. It's like when they say, "Oh, I love a woman who's like all natural and doesn't wear
Yes,
makeup,"
that's what I like.
but then they no, because then you see someone not wearing makeup and you're like, "Oh my god, are they okay? Are they sick? Do they have cancer?" Like that's how I feel like men always respond to me if I don't wear makeup.
Seriously, my wife
Yes.
doesn't.
Oh
My
my
wife
gosh.
doesn't wear makeup. I mean, she has. I mean, she has
Maybe.
eye stuff.
What do you mean she has eye stuff?
She has eyeliner or
Eyeliner.
something.
That's
She
makeup.
puts something. Yeah, but
That's
she only puts
makeup.
that on when we're going out.
I
She
see.
doesn't
I
wear it
see.
daily.
So you do prefer it a little bit more natural. And I
I
do agree, like
do.
some
Yeah.
women like overdo the makeup, but I think that there is sometimes men are a little bit more deceived by that. And I have a theory that if a girl is blonde, she can look like a bulldog and men will be like, she's so beautiful.
I think
Like
I think blonde hair has in the history has caused people to think they look better. I do think that there was a time. I don't know if it's still today, but blondes were considered prettier. I don't know why.
yeah, no, I mean, and it's funny because I think it works on pretty much everyone. Like, I'll see a blonde, I'll be like, oh, she's good looking. Then I'll kind of like observe her face. I'm talking about this Love is Blind show. That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's one girl in there, and I'm like, I actually think if she was a brunette, they would think she was hideous. Like, but she's blonde and she's tan, and it's like, oh, she's good looking. Anyways, so
Interesting.
that's how I feel about plastic surgery. I feel like there's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions on it. They don't really know what they're looking at.
But they like they like the output, even though they don't like the idea.
They're like,
but they
wow,
like the
she
output.
looks like a model, and it's like,
yeah.
how would you expect somebody not to want to go get plastic surgery if that's the response? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think people are really judgmental about it. But
They should hang out with me.
Do you think people get plastic surgery for themselves or for their boyfriend or spouse or for their why do you think they're getting it?
That's a good
I'll
question.
say this. When I was in my 20s, I had a couple of older friends who were like in their 40s and they were getting Botox. And I remember just being like, why? Like, just age. Don't worry about dyeing your hair. Just age gracefully. Like, don't worry about it, because they would get it and I think they overdid it, but they would like literally have this like big shiny forehead because there was too much. They had like literally no movement in their face, or like there was like, and so I think you can overdo it for sure, but I saw it and I was like, why? Like, who cares? Like, you're married, you have kids, whatever. But now that I've gotten on the other side of 30 and I, things are starting to, oh, shut up. But like things are starting to settle, like things are starting to, and then you see all these women who are 28 and you're thinking like 28's not that young. And you're like, oh, that's 5 years younger than me. Like it is, that's, starting to kind of hit. And plastic surgery or, Botox just sounds like more appealing at that point. And you want to take good care of your skin and it just starts to fall. And it's really sad. And I think it is a little bit for yourself, but I think it's also just about confidence because people do really judge a lot on appearances. Like you
So
make your first impression.
it's not for the spouse or boyfriend or trying to, in your
I think
mind.
it probably, for me, it probably is a little bit that because I want to make sure that I'm not like a dog, you know what I mean? Compared to like all the other women that we spend time around and stuff. But at the same time, I want to just look the best for me. I'm not, I mean, the best I can for my husband, not like because I'm not going to go get my hair dyed blonde or like, go get some sort of crazy lift or something like that. Like I've had 3 kids. I don't look like I used to. I have to accept that a little bit. I can't I'm not going to be Dolly Parton. Okay, I'm not going to do that to myself. You know what I mean? She looked like so good, but so not real. Do you know what I'm talking
And
about?
she makes fun of herself. It's
Yeah.
like she's kind of slapstick about
And
that.
she's such
She's
a
like,
sweet person and
yeah.
like but like even her, she's kind of gone into that whole like, kind of part of her brand, I guess.
So I don't really know much about it, but I will say this, and the names will stay nameless to protect the innocent. So
Will
Mhm.
they?
the little I'll
Yeah,
do
be
my
careful.
best. The little town that I lived in for 26 years, a
With
lot of the
with the
women
best water
there,
tower.
the water tower town, yes, we need to have water tower talk in the future.
I'll put it on the list.
Yeah. No, add that. Add
And the
that.
thing is, I made a post about water towers. Nobody liked it.
I
I think
loved it.
I know you did. I mean, no one from the water tower town. Like, it's a running joke with us.
It's because it was the last one, and they had to swipe through all these other horrible water towers. They were just not willing to look
That's
at them.
interesting. So anyway, the women there, not everybody, but there's a certain in crowd,
Mhm.
and the women in the in crowd all got boob jobs,
Yeah.
and then they all got lip jobs, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
they all got eye jobs, and they all got whatever job.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I was in a living room with a bunch of drunk women not that long ago, and they're like, "Oh, so and so, your fill in the blank looks so good. I want this, and I want this, and I want this."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh," and it was like they're like addicted to it. It was like a
Right. Yeah.
competition, and they were kind of addicted to it.
I think there's a social pressure part of it. You know what I mean?
I
Like, there's a
guess
social
so.
pressure, and it's like when I was having kids, it was like all of my friends were having kids, we're having kids, like, it's like, "Okay, I'm gonna have kids," or getting married or whatever. There's that, like, kinda social pressure,
Yeah.
and, you don't wanna be the only one in the room that has, an A cup or what you know what I mean? Or, like, doesn't have
What does
Botox or
that
whatever,
matter?
like
But so yeah, there was.
Karen, does it not matter? Because then all the guys are like, "Oh my gosh, she's so hot," whatever, and you're
They're
the only
not
one
doing
that
it for
everyone's
the
you're like,
guys, though. They're not
I
doing it
think
for
a
the guys.
little
And
bit.
there's this one individual woman that I absolutely love. She's one of my very favorites. And I don't want to misquote her, but so all these gals were getting boob jobs back in the day, a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think she's like, well, I had to. I mean, everybody else is getting it. It was just keeping up
Yeah.
with the neighbors kind of thing.
Right.
So
Mhm.
that's sad. It had nothing to do with her husband. It had nothing to do with being
True, yeah.
seen out. It was to fit in, which I don't think those girls are saying you can't hang out with us unless you have a boob job. But
Mhm.
she felt that way, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
I
That's
think
crazy.
I don't know.
I think
That's
that
why Amy
there's
doesn't fit in anywhere.
legitimacy because she doesn't need it. She's just natural. But
She's never had
I would
anything.
say I would say that it's there's like the social pressure and then it's like so for me, I don't get my teeth whitened or anything like that because my teeth are so sensitive. Every time I've gotten them whitened, it is absolutely horribly painful. They're just really sensitive and I've tried like the sensitive formulas and all of that. So I can't use any of that. So my teeth are teeth colored. Like I brush my
Mine
teeth
too.
and they just look like teeth. It used to be a joke when like you remember the episode of Friends where Ross gets his teeth whitened and it like glows under the blacklight? That
Yeah.
is the norm now for
That's the
teeth.
norm.
Like
Yeah.
now everyone's got the whitest teeth and I look at them I'm like they must look at my mouth and think that, because when you see it every day, you get used to it. You look at my mouth and it's like, oh my gosh, they're probably thinking they're as ill as my nails, and it's just normal.
I feel the
teeth.
same way. I
It's
feel the same
and
way.
you drink coffee and you drink wine and
And
but
tea.
here's the thing. And
My
tea, of
forklift
course,
driver
tea.
has beautiful teeth.
So I thought when you got your teeth whitened, that's one of the things I want to do the most in the world is have my teeth whitened. But
Yeah.
I've heard that it kills your enamel and it messes your teeth up. Well, if I don't die of potato salad today, I'm going to need my teeth for a long time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough bracket.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
And I've had a friend that. Oh, sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
No, I don't know how much it costs either. All that stuff costs a whole bunch of money, and
Mhm.
people that don't have the money necessarily. I mean, I know my
Right.
forklift driver doesn't have a ton of money,
Right.
There's a girl we worked
He's
with
like,
that
he's
got
like,
it done.
I don't pay him nearly enough for that.
but he's got white
But no.
teeth.
Well,
There's a
yeah, and
girl. There's a girl we worked with that got it done, and it was very, very white. But I found it interesting and asked about it, and she's like, "Well, they actually sell it at on
She didn't-
Amazon."
she said she got her teeth whitened. That's not true. She got veneers. That's why they looked very like big and like
Really?
yeah.
We're talking about the
not-
same person.
Yes.
So that's not a whitening thing.
No, she got veneers put in, which is fine. I would never do it because they look so. I think they can be done really, really poorly, and it's a little scary. Hers looked fine, but they were veneers. Like, because one day
What
she
is
had
a veneer? What is that even?
they like grind your teeth down, and they put like basically porcelain or some sort of I don't know what it's made
Kind of
out
like
of now.
nails
But
for your teeth.
yeah, exactly. So they put like a perfect covering on it, and they'll file them all down. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
so and so you can see it on certain celebrities. They get them all the time, where it's like they just look too perfect to like be
Yeah.
natural.
They do look like that. I think they look good, but then why would she
Right.
tell me, oh, they sell that
Yeah.
on Amazon now?
I think she was trying to. Well, that's the thing about plastic surgery, right? Like you're trying to make it look really natural. You're trying to pass it off as natural, hopefully, unless you're like the Dolly Parton and you're trying to get them like as big as you can. And so a lot of women like.
Wait a
they
second,
don't
you're talking to Dolly Parton about what? About Dolly
I'm
Parton.
just
doing what?
saying, like most women want
Go over the edge.
they want their plastic surgery or any kind of skin treatment or whatever. They want people to perceive that in a natural way, right?
So
like,
Dolly had a reduction though, right?
oh, did she? I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just
Yeah,
she's
so
just the person that comes to my mind.
And
I'm not gonna pick on
but
her,
she's had a
but-
whole bunch of other work, right? But I think she had a reduction in the 90s or 80s, something like
and
that.
that was
Maybe
another
maybe
thing.
earlier.
I think that's another thing with these beauty trends is that women like got their brows like tattooed and their eyeliner tattooed or whatever.
Oh my goodness,
on,
Oh
or
yeah,
they get,
that was a bad deal.
Yeah,
they get their
pluck out
lips.
all your eyebrows and get them tattooed. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So I went to the dentist one day. I said, "Hey, can you just pull all my teeth out and just give me and give me implants?" And so he gave me the price of it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's $3,000." Back then, it was $3,000 a tooth. I was like, "Yeah, it's not doable."
Oh my gosh,
A tooth?
And
For
how many
implants.
teeth do you have?
I guess you have 26. I don't know.
Something like that. So do the math on
26,
that
yeah.
one. But I will say that like beauty standards change, right? So it used to be thin eyebrows and now it's thick eyebrows and now it's going back to thin or whatever. But like women had these big boobs at one point because of Pamela Anderson and all of these women on Baywatch, and they go and get these big boobs. I have a friend that actually just got hers reduced too, and it was a horrible situation for her. Like it was a really long recovery, very painful, lots of bleeding, things like that. And I mean, it's just if you're willing to keep up with that, like great. But I think my limit, at least for now on this side of 40, I don't want to speak too soon, right? But like my limit, I think, is like I don't want something that's going to permanently change my appearance.
Just your personality is what makes it at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
your
Right, and
your
develop
heart,
that.
your
Develop that,
heart,
right?
your
Like
personality.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
before we get off this, I do want to say one thing. So there was this older real estate agent in Shreveport. Is that on the bingo card? and
Shreveport?
she had her eyebrows. I guess they were tattooed or drawn on. I don't know, but they were really high up here, and she always looked like she was amazed.
Like so surprised.
That chick
That's awesome.
cracked me up. She was like a little old lady, but she was like,
She's like always on edge,
it
always
was like a
surprised.
cartoon. You know how
"Oh, yeah."
cartoons they have their eyebrows off their head? That's what she was like.
You know,
That's awesome, though.
there's something to
awesome.
be said about, so like, you know, when people put on makeup, they can change their like whole appearance. I mean, women can change like what the ethnicity that they look like with makeup, you know, like the way that they contour it and stuff. And sometimes you see women with like bright orange freckles and like they're like they look Irish and they put on makeup and they look like, I don't know, like Latina or something. You know what I mean? Because they've like done all this stuff and their makeup is so well done. And so that cracks me up, but I also think like there are little tricks that they do, right? So they'll like shade the inner cheek to make them look thinner, or like certain parts of their face. And then sometimes they'll do like eyebrows a little higher to make their forehead look smaller, or whatever it is, you know, look lifted. They'll kind of paint on almost like a smile, overline their lips, all of this stuff. So
I know the people need that.
Yeah, it's a thing.
They
You know,
smile.
I used to say, you know, when I was single, I'd say, you know, I don't like girls with makeup because I wanted to be able to, I thought, you know, when I marry someone, I want to be able to wake up with the same person I go to bed with.
Right. Well,
you know, but,
I mean,
but people make their makeup look, you know, makes them look a lot different.
I take my makeup off before I go to bed, so technically my husband does wake up with the same person he goes to bed with, but it's not the same person walking around during the day. And I definitely do wear makeup pretty much every day. It's not that I'm afraid to walk around without it, but I try to just like, I don't know, it's fun for me.
I would find it interesting to wake up with somebody different than I went to bed with.
Darren says that sounds pretty fun, actually. And
I'd have been
I want to
passed
explore
out
that.
not to wake up during all the movement.
Back to the movie Swingers.
Yes,
No,
it always comes off full circle.
movie.
Yep. Yeah. Now, do you guys have any friends that are swingers?
I don't think so. I hope not.
I do.
No one that has ever asked me to participate. So I guess if I do have friends, they're not real friends. They're not very. I guess they don't like me that much.
You don't cut the mustard.
I guess not. It's a little offensive.
Maybe you should get some work done.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that boob job. I don't know.
It's I have some friends that are swingers. Yeah.
How did they tell you that?
Yeah. How do you know this?
Well, they talk about it.
Really?
So it's just like very nonchalant.
Oh yeah.
Very, very interesting. I know that where we live and where I specifically the city or town that I live in, it is a big thing. I didn't know that moving here. I guess maybe it's a big thing all over the place, but I'm so naive and oblivious to that kind of stuff. I literally have no idea that that's happening. But there's like a house. I showed Darren this when when he first came to work at this is like an HR complaint. I'm so sorry, Darren.
Find that interesting. Hey, let me show you this house, day one.
But we were driving by it. Yeah. And I just said, that is a house that doesn't have any rooms. It only has like curtains, apparently. I only know this. It's like lore. I don't even know if it's true, but I've seen some photos from like parties and stuff. And, there's a very famous family that lives out here that goes and frequents it, and it's like a swinger house. It looks like it was built straight out of 1974, I don't know, and it's like rock, the rock on the outside, and it's like kind of like mid-century modern, and it's on a hill back inset, all these trees in front of it, very private, and it's like a big open house with no rooms. Like, it's just a big open house, and they throw these huge parties, and they get a DJ. People are wearing all these costumes. And I'm like, no way that there's not some things happening in that cave of a house, or you know what I mean? It's like probably like 7,200 square feet. And I showed Darren, I was like, I think that's a swinger house. I'm like, I can't prove it, but I do think so.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did they tell you, Greg?
Yeah, probably. We can talk about that we can add that as a topic
and,
at some point.
Say that.
outside of not on a camera.
Yeah, probably better because maybe they watch or listen.
Good point.
Hey, so we had about 4 topics. We're running up against our time here, so we got to 2 of them. So it's better than last time. I think we might have made it through 1 topic. I love the fact that we just enjoy the
go.
time. Yeah.
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 So,
That's fun.
do you guys want to do the words? You want to see if you can go 5 for 5 again?
100%.
100%. I do. Oh.
100%.
Okay.
Okay.
Jinx.
100%.
100%. I had a driver that used to say 100% about everything.
I don't know where I
100%.
got it. I think I got it. It must have gotten it from you, Darren, because I don't think I used to say that.
Lou Ferrigno on Celebrity Apprentice would always say 110%.
Oh, that's obnoxious.
110%. Okay.
That's
yeah.
like when when like a speaker gets up and they're like, "Good morning, everybody," and everyone's like,
Do you know who
like,
Lou Ferrigno
I
is?
said, "Good morning," and I'm like, immediately I've checked out. Like, no, don't do that.
Do you know who Lou Ferrigno is?
I've heard the name. I don't. A Celebrity Apprentice, you said?
Yeah. It was a TV show. It was a
No,
reality
I know.
show.
You're fired. You're fired.
Yeah.
Don't talk.
Exactly. I was wanting to hear that from you so much, and I never heard it.
Ah.
So he played the Incredible Hulk back in the day when that was a series, 70s, 80s. I don't know when it came out. He was the Hulk. He was the muscled up guy. He was the actual Hulk.
Okay. Better
And
known.
you know what? He's on King of Queens also.
Oh, I didn't watch that episode. I'm sorry. I
No,
will.
he's a neighbor. He's on a lot of them.
I know, but you tell me to watch a specific episode.
Speaking of episodes, I think we should have you as a regular. You should come and visit
I'm a
us
regular
often.
now? Okay. Yeah.
She needs
Sure.
potato salad.
Even with other guests.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
I think she'd
Okay.
be
I have a
good
lot
with
of fun.
April Steen.
Oh my goodness. I think that would be
April.
fantastic.
I've heard a lot about April Steen.
Love me some April. She was here last weekend, and I missed her.
Oh, man.
I was in Dallas, and she was here. She stayed in a treehouse.
Near my house.
I don't know. It's in Fayetteville. It was in Fayetteville.
Well, awesome. All right. Well, hey, what you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Always ready.
The first one is liminal space. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, liminal space. liminal space.
One
liminal
word?
space?
No, it's 2 words.
word? Oh.
Liminal space.
Liminal.
2 words. So I think, Darren, are we supposed to go first, right? You and I are supposed to go first.
Jasmine went first last time every time,
I mean,
then we would learn
I feel like I don't know how to say it. Like,
yeah. Maybe I said it wrong. I don't know, but
if I knew what liminal meant, I might have a clue.
Okay, no, but there's a game. Bear with me. There's a game that my son makes me play on his Xbox, and it's called something liminal. And it's like it's all these different, like, you have to move it and it changes perspective and everything. So I'm gonna go with. Okay, wait, is it like a noun? Like, what is this? I like what?
I'm gonna say it's a noun. I'm gonna say it's a noun. I don't know. We don't know this word. It's new in the dictionary.
Okay, so it's gonna to me be how would I phrase this? It's like when something is too close to you.
Okay, too close to you.
This is in my liminal space. I don't know.
Okay, so Jasmine's too close. I'm gonna say
someone's a close talker.
So, Darren, what do you got?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
No, I was just explaining what Jasmine meant.
No, yeah.
No, what's your definition? Liminal space.
I mean, my first blush is lemon. So maybe it's. I know it's not lemon though. The way you describe liminal though, or that video game, kind of sounds like a movie I watched a long time ago called. There was a lot of different levels of
You guys should be on game shows. They always
I
describe
know,
we're
too
doing-
we're
much.
like,
doing great, aren't
Yeah.
like we have no idea
I
how to
tried
say
out for
it.
a
Yeah.
game show one time with my sister.
My
Okay.
friend was on Survivor.
Was it about liminal space?
I'm really drawing a blank. Maybe
Just
you
make
know
up
what?
something.
Okay, I think it has something to do with different levels of awareness, like
Oh,
just
okay.
different
Mhm.
levels of awareness.
I think
Okay.
we
And
might be getting too deep with this.
so I think minimal space would be a small space. I'm going to say liminal space would be
like
a
limited.
space, a limited space, a short time, or
Okay.
a small, not a small, but
Mm.
That's good.
Okay.
And we have
Yeah.
You're
3
saying it's-
different guesses.
Yes. Okay. So are
I like
any of us
this.
correct? Let's see.
let's see. Liminal space is a state or place characterized by being transitional. Oh, okay. Or intermediate in some way. Motels are such liminal spaces. Everyone there is either coming or going.
Okay. So none of us got that.
No. So
That's
no
interesting.
winners.
That's interesting. Okay. Very good.
So,
we learned
like-
something.
Okay, so it's like no one's home. It's like a Disney World. People are coming and going. No one's staying there.
Venice.
No, it's like, well,
Venice
maybe.
is in the film Venice. In the film, Venice is a liminal space where the real and imaginary meet.
Oh,
So,
well, I
it's
think I
good.
might have been
It's-
close then.
It's intermediate or transitional.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you were close enough. How about
I
that?
think I had different levels of acknowledgement there. I think I got a half a point.
How about no half points? Okay. Okay. How about the word North Paw?
Mm. Wait,
North
southpaw is when you're left-handed, so north paw is right-handed.
Did he say
Okay,
fall or paw?
Paw. North Paw.
Right-handed.
That's what I'm going with. I'm going with right-handed.
Me too.
Okay.
Darren.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, it's a noun. It's an athlete, usually a pitcher or boxer who is right-handed. Okay, so we all got
There
it.
you go.
1 point
We
for
go.
everybody.
And that's new.
Yeah. So I'm guessing we just called southpaws all this time, but we just call right-handers
I'm
just
a southpaw.
normal.
I am a lefty.
So is my son. Yeah.
My mom's a southpaw.
Everybody knows a southpaw. Okay. But
Okay.
I am one.
She did great in the minors.
Good job. You could be president. More presidents are southpaws than not.
Really?
Really?
I'm going to tell you this, Greg. I could not be president.
Were you not born in America?
No, I was.
I
Like,
don't think that matters
technically,
either.
like, no, I technically was. Like, I technically could be president.
Did,
like, I'm
did you inhale?
pretty sure I'm almost old enough. But it's just, when they do the smear campaigns, I feel like they dig up way too much stuff on me. I'd be canceled immediately.
Did you inhale?
Inhale?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's too young
no.
for that, I guess.
No.
Clinton
Okay.
said he didn't
No.
inhale.
Said he didn't inhale. He just puffed on the.
No. I've never in my whole life, right, Darren?
Right. 100%.
Okay, that's good. Okay, me either, by the way. So, how about Southern Ocean?
That's the ocean that I didn't know about. Okay, because in school, I swear to God, we learned Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic oceans.
Well, there's
And all of a
7
sudden-
seas.
Yeah. That's not the same. The oceans, the
No.
actual oceans, I learned those. I swear I did. And then all of a sudden, there's a Southern Ocean. It's like how Pluto's not a planet anymore. But everybody else seems to already know about it.
Or how
Except for
potato
me.
doesn't have an E anymore?
Wait, what? Potato
Huh?
never had an E. Potatoes. You're thinking toe.
No. I think you're talking about the vice president at that time spelled potato wrong. Oh,
Oh
we
no, we're
lost our
losing the
guy.
main. What do
Yeah.
we do? It's chaos.
While the cat's away,
Uh-oh. Well, you can talk about anything we want right now.
anything. Absolutely
Anything. Darren,
anything.
come on, think of anything.
Okay, let's talk
What-
about
what-
Greg while he's gone.
Oh, we got 2.
Uh-oh.
It's really just
Hey.
one. Hey,
He's back.
so Southern Ocean, Darren, did you have a meeting for Southern Ocean?
I think the Southern Ocean is one of the, and I have to take exception. The 7 seas is talking about the oceans. So
Is it?
there are 7 oceans, and that's one of them. And I'm guessing it's
Are
the
there?
most south one.
I'm thinking it's the one near like Australia.
Okay. So I don't know anything about the Southern Ocean. I've never heard of the Southern Ocean in my
Thank you.
education.
But it is actually a new ocean.
I'm guessing it's
Or
some
an
ocean
ocean.
somewhere, and I'm like you, it's somewhere in the south. I'm going to say it's in the south I'm with you. I think it's in the south in Asia or Australia, in that range of.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it actually?
Let's see what it says here. The Southern Ocean, in quotations, it says, is the broad ocean region surrounding Antarctica. Oh, we missed it.
I was
Okay.
going to say Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't.
No
Still have
I
points.
said the most southern ocean.
Wait.
Yeah, maybe you did get that.
When was it like established? When did they decide that this was an ocean? Because I swear that was not there.
This is a new word this year, I think.
Yeah.
So
It
it's a
says,
new word.
It is not a formal geographic region in the sense of a Pacific, Atlantic, or Indian Oceans, or the many marginal seas, as it is not surrounded by continental land masses. So they just made it up. So Darren, you get a point.
Out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Wait. I think I get a point on that one.
No, I don't think so.
Wait, why? I was the one who said it.
Yeah, but I don't think you got them. It was in the south. I think you said it was in Australia, which Darren
first
did.
Of all,
okay, so
the
next
Southern
word.
Ocean is in the south. I'm so freaking shocked by that. Like,
how about rage farming?
Woo!
Rage farming.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're really stressed out and you go out and you like buy a bunch of plants. Like millennials love their plants. Okay.
Are you serious? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, plants are a millennial thing, 100%. So I think rage farming is when like you're so stressed out in your life, or I guess you're raging, and you go either buy a bunch of plants or like plant a tomato thing in the back of your house. You know what I mean? Like
I love that definition. I hope that's it.
I think that's it.
I'm going to guess that you're mad and you're looking for a fight, and you're trying to farm some problems.
Okay.
You're like
you're
the
harvesting.
guy. Yes, you're the guy on Falling Down, the movie Falling Down, and you're looking for trouble.
Okay, so I'm going with that theme too. I'm going with you're on Facebook or whatever, and you're trying to put out content, trying to, farm rage, to get people on your side.
That's actually very good.
Okay, so here we have rage farming or rage baiting is an internet slang that refers to a manipulative tactic to elicit outrage with the goal of increasing internet traffic, online engagement, revenue, and support.
Wow. Okay, that was very good.
Great, that one.
I'll take a point for that one.
That's
so
not
it's
exactly
1-1.
What I said.
Oh, it's one. It's 3. It's 1. That Darren's 1. Darren's 2. I'm 2, and Jasmine's 1.
And I have 1.
I have 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all got North Paul. Okay, and then the last.
Also. Although I was the first one.
Okay, and the last one, I think Jasmine will get. She actually mentioned this a little bit, something about this in the introduction. Trauma dumping.
Yeah. I think that is when you are like just hanging out with people and you just start like, or it's not me. I don't ever freaking do this. I would never do this. I am not that person. But there are a lot of people in the world who will come up to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I look nice and I'm smiling and I'm happy to talk to them. Yes, and my Botox is on point,
is kicking, and
I'm like this, but they come up to me and they try to tell me like every bad thing that's ever happened. This is Darren, this happened to us.
I know
this happened to us.
It's
in
a real
time,
estate
okay?
thing.
No, he was not in real estate. He was somebody that we knew from a mutual. Yes,
that was a special case.
We were hanging out, and he just like out of nowhere was like, every morning, the first thing I do, I'm so stressed, I wake up and I throw up everywhere. And we're both like, okay, so nice to meet you. But like, it's just like somebody who has all this stuff, like maybe, and then he talked about his childhood and all these things, which I have a lot of empathy for that. That's so like, I love to know where people are coming from, but it was very sudden. It was very abrupt. It was very unprompted. And very quick. I mean, like we probably knew him for like 5 minutes at that point. So, yeah. So I think that's what trauma dumping is when you let go and you just start unloading with somebody with things from the past.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. Darren, what do you got?
Well, that sure enough is a thing for sure. That did happen. I was thinking along those lines, but not to that severity. But I guess I'll just go with that. I was just thinking, you had a bad day, you go out and you're like, oh man, whatever, boss sucks, I had a bad day, didn't close any doors. I was thinking on a lighter end of that, but along that same line.
So your boss sucked when you were closing doors?
My big boss.
Oh, okay. I'm just clarifying.
The bigger boss.
Yeah. That's okay. You can say I sucked. I don't mind.
You didn't. And I'm
I don't
not
mind.
saying I ever had a bad day. I'm just saying people like in
Yeah, never.
like
That
people
place is
in
awesome.
Springfield, Missouri might be having a bad day, or
Do you know what
Oh,
Darren's
Missouri.
you know what Darren's grandmother used to call me?
it's you're still
do you
called
want-
this.
Do you want me to actually answer this question? Or
Yes.
It's rhetorical.
She may know.
I don't know, but I was gonna say I feel like I'll say something worse than what it is. So please tell me.
No,
No,
say
say
something
it.
worse. I want to hear that.
Yeah. No.
It's my grandmother, so let's clean it
Mhm.
up.
What are you known as?
Spoon.
Oh. How would okay? I don't know.
Because he's always
Because I was always
it up.
stirring things up.
My mom still calls you
Oh,
that.
you're stirring the pot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought
Yeah.
it's like more of like a ladle, but okay.
Well, and my mom calls my cousin the ladle because he stirs it up even more.
Mm.
So Greg's the
Just
smaller
the real
version
bottom.
of the.
So you're just kind of like a little disruptor. Okay. So is that what you think that it is? It's like somebody who's gonna.
No.
I
I
can't
was
even
just
remember what
I was
we
just
were talking about.
I was just talking
We're
about
trying to
because
figure out what trauma dumping means.
Trauma
I'm gonna still
dumping.
play this game.
Yeah.
No, I was just talking about because I was asking Darren about how he said his boss sucked, and I was asking, so your boss sucked.
You're
so I was trying to-
stirring.
Yes. No,
You
but
can't
trauma
come
dumping.
between us.
No, never.
So
Somebody may can, but it ain't gonna be
Nice
you.
try. You're not doing it. No, I'm just kidding.
I agree with both of you. I think that's what trauma dumping is. Someone who is just dumping.
Okay, how am I supposed to win this game when I come up with the
Yeah.
first response and then
Well,
you
I
guys just
just say
agree
you
with
should
it?
go
We
last.
should go
You should go
I'm not doing
last.
that.
Well, we
Yeah,
should
I'll be
take
doing that
turns.
more.
Like I go first, and you go first, and then Greg goes first.
So
Mhm.
dumping is when you unload trauma onto someone else without regard for their emotional state or well-being. So
But you know
So
what?
you-
Like in real estate,
that happens.
like in
So
the
Darren
town
and I
that I moved
tied.
from, people would come in and just like, oh, I've been in the hospital and my youngest son got arrested, and they just dump all over you. And I think I don't know if it's because they owe you money and they're trying to get you to not pay as much. I don't know, but that happened all the time.
No,
And-
I think people are just so starved to talk
Oh,
and like
yeah.
have a connection.
Yeah.
That, like when somebody's willing to listen to them, which as a salesperson,
You have
maybe
to.
it's not because you're not a good person. You also are interested in that person, but you have to. You're stuck in that you want to sell to them. And so they're sitting there and they will tell you everything and you're just kind of stuck and that sucks. But
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
that's the way you got to get out of sales.
It's so hard. I sent Darren an article today. It was called like Why the Customer is Always Right. And it's a hard one for me because I do believe that customer service is super important and like the customer experience. And we always preached that when we were on the same team and I was, with them. But it's hard because a lot of the customers are crazy and they have a lot of
Yeah.
really high expectations. So
Yep.
Yeah. So we don't believe the customer's always right, but we believe that they're owed, respect.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anywho, hey, it's fun times. That was all the words.
I feel like I have to edit a lot of that out, but that's okay.
Darren was 3, I had 3, and Jasmine had 2. So if we add up total points, though,
I don't
Jasmine
think
had
so.
Jasmine had 10 from last time, and Darren had 2 and I had 1 or 3 and 1.
I
So
think that the person who says it first automatically gets a half point for just going first. I think that's the
fair
main-
I
enough.
should have got
I
a
think we
half
could do a
point
quarter
for
point.
the-
We could do a quarter point
Oh,
or
okay.
something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I went first, so he's 5-2.
A fifth of a point because there's 5 questions. So that way you could get a whole extra for going first, I suppose. Okay, well,
Yeah.
great. That was fun times. You guys,
Well, I'll try it. I didn't miss.
anything anybody wants to say before we say goodbye?
I think we said everything.
I think we should. No, we did not say everything. There is so much that we didn't get to.
I think I said it all.
But
said
I
it.
do look forward to the next opportunity to get together, and I think you should join us more often.
Whatever you want.
So far,
Mhm.
she's been the only one to join, so it's hard for her to
I
join
wanna-
anymore.
I want to hear more about the high IQ people because I do have a theory as to why you would go around telling people how high your IQ is.
I have a IQ
and it
story,
has
but
to
we'll
do
save it.
with the size of something else. So just so,
So
you know.
one of those people doesn't say it; it's evident. The other one said it because I asked him.
How is that evident?
You don't know smart people? You mean you know super smart people?
That doesn't
Super
mean they have a
smart
high IQ.
Yeah, they do.
Test.
Yeah,
No.
I hear you.
I feel like everybody that I've met who has a high IQ, they all are really, really uncomfortable to talk to.
Yeah. So John's
they're on
like
the
that.
spectrum.
John's like that. John,
Let's bring
no,
him on.
yeah, no, I mean, he's uncomfortable. Like we would go to a company party and he would just shut down. He was super fun, at the office when it's just me and him or a few people. But as soon as there's more than 3 in a room, he shut down.
I wonder what that is.
Really?
What
There's
causes
this
that?
lady I know in the town, and she had a date, and she invited him to this Mardi Gras thing, and he just sat there by himself, looking down at the floor, and 2 different people went up to him. It's like, "Hey, can I go to the bar and get you something? Can I get you a drink? I'm grown. No, I'm good. I'm grown." He totally shut down at this party. So there
Weird.
is that.
I don't know. I just feel like it's like those people who always
Oh,
have to
no.
tell you about like their college degrees or something. You know what I mean? It's like they start with it. It's like, okay, I get it. If I ask you and you happen to know your IQ, okay, cool. Which you said that was one of them, but I'm not going to just go announce. I
don't know if I've ever met anybody who told me their IQ number. There's this guy that's had a high one that everybody talked about, but I don't know anybody. Now, I did watch Curb Your Enthusiasm last week, and Larry David did throw his IQ out there, but that's a TV show.
No, but he was throwing it out there because he wanted her
Yeah,
to
he wanted the
go,
redhead.
because he wanted, yeah.
Okay, so you saw
That was fun.
that.
Yes, I did.
Love
it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway.
All right.
Okay.
Hey,
I
fun
think
times,
Greg's
guys.
fun.
No,
All right.
I love it.
Get me
I love
outta
it. I
here.
love it. No, it's the only thing is, I know that people will, they like to listen for a certain time, and then hey, we'll leave them hanging, come back for more, right?
Cool. Sounds good.